So we'll make a slow start, dear colleagues. So yeah, extremely important for you all to note that, it's just suggestions, completely suggestions on what you should do, right? We are not saying that you should use this, you should use that. It's just a suggestion, but yes, right? In fact, here it should come as any suggestion should be vetted by yourselves, okay? But I can tell you one thing, but knowing the speakers, the suggestions will be good, okay? That's what I've ensured, okay? Yeah, this is a very good WhatsApp I got, and I believe any teacher should do this. And I try to do this, right? I'm not saying I'm always successful, but I try to do this. But in terms of students, yes, right? I think they have been bringing out their best, and always a pleasure chatting with them, right? Talking to them. Now, this is one more joke on Teachers' Day. Fantastic joke. Somebody is wishing the teacher a happy Teachers' Day. The teacher figures out who are you and says you are my old student. The teacher realizes there's a mistake in the spelling of teacher. He says write it 10 times, because this is what teachers do, right? As sir said yesterday, they keep pushing you all, right? Yes, Hunger Collective rocks, right?
Yeah.
March 2020 we started, and we've gone on to 1.5 lakh people now, thanks to all of you all over. Just spoke to, in fact, she came in yesterday, Rajshri ma'am came in yesterday, right? And again, it's a pleasure meeting her virtually, right? It's still going on. We're going strong. We're going slow, but we're going strong. It's absolutely fine. But the most important thing is we are moving. We have not stopped. Okay, obviously things can't go at the same pace, right? At least this is our people who made it happen, right? Each of you all sponsors, you all have made it up for. I can't keep thanking you all enough, right? Right, each one of you all, incidentally, Ketan sir yesterday addressed integrated group, addressed science students yesterday, because again, there was a lot of fear. People don't want to take up science. They said, no, a lot of hard work and things like that. So we had a session where Ketan sir and Dr. Vinod Nair was very kind to come, and he gave the vote of thanks. So the idea was very simple. If you have the passion, take up science. Don't get scared of science. आप लोगों को डर नहीं लगना चाहिए. Science also is useful. Okay. Now, what do I say? Just spoke to Chandni, Aditi's sister, right? Shah family, right? She's back from US. Anybody who wants to look at an equity research analyst, please get in touch with me. Dear Chandni is looking for a break in the field of equity research, and we're a pleasure to help her, right? Tomorrow I'm visiting Pune, right? So I would be going to the plant of SS Techno, right? So tomorrow I am visiting. After a long time, I'll be traveling outside Mumbai, right? Simarpreet rocks. Anjay ji is God, is all I can say. The way he's helping everybody there in a Telegram group. George sir doing extremely well, right? In spite of tough times, kids are doing well. When I say well, the way they are facing up to this pandemic, right? Things are not good for many of us, but it's how do you face it? That's what is extremely important. Lovely, right? This kid I can't thank enough. Sri Chakra group, right? And of course, with that, the Satwa group, right? Mamok, again, the sponsors for every sale that they are donating. Thank you, Shrikunj. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Shrikunj has connected me to a lawyer, and very soon we are going to come out with a session on intellectual property rights. So all these sessions happened because of recommendation. So Shrikunj came back saying, sir, you did recoveries. Why not do one on IPR? I said, yeah. And then he connected to a very young lawyer. Pleasure talking to him, and very confident. He said, yeah, we can do a session. Practical session on IPR. In fact, thanks to each one of you all, we keep moving one by one step. Sachet I didn't know, but his sessions were so good that we did 3 sessions with them. Again, thanks to reference of Sandeep ji, right? All of you all, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Now we go on to today's, so I just changed the slides a bit. Okay, today's knowledge partner is Mr. Suresh Kumar. He's a virtual CTO, Chief Technology Officers. He has been in the field for a long time. He has been a global CTO for, in the jewelry industries with NBFCs. Kerala basically is jewelry and NBFCs. He travels extensively to Middle East. He's now the global CTO for a Middle East-based firm. And last but not the least, he believes in delivering. So even if you give him an impossible task, he delivers it very well. I welcome with a namaste. I salute the divinity in you, sir. Suresh Kumar, sir. Over to you, sir, please.
Hello, sir. Hello, good evening all.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good. Can we start, sir?
Please, sir, all yours. I've given you an introduction. I didn't
Okay.
talk about your entire companies, but that they will come to know, right?
Yeah. Okay. Just good evening, all. My name is Suresh. I'm into this IT industry for last 22 years. I headed different corporates in India as a CIO or group IT head. Companies like Muthoot Group. I was the group IT head of Muthoot Papacham Group, and some other automobile division, Chemanur Group. So different companies I worked as a CIO, Chief Information Role. So now I am doing as a virtual CIO or virtual CTO. Because after getting a lot of experience from different companies, I think how I can help the other companies, those who are not maintaining a full-time IT head or CIO. From that thought, I started this concept 3 years back. And now I'm operating from Kerala, Cochin and Thrissur, my office. 20 plus employees are working with me. 50 plus companies I am giving support. Okay, so today I am interested, I am planning to give an idea about you, how IT can help you for your business. What are the things you need to keep in mind while choosing a IT solution? So that is where we are going to have a discussion today. So I will go through the points. Once we finish, we can do a interactive session. Okay. So, Sandeep, you can start the slide. Okay. So today we are discussing about maximizing IT effectiveness in business with a minimal cost. So the cost can be saved in different ways. That is either time or effort or risk. All the things we can cover under the name cost. So in this pandemic, we learned a lot of things to accommodate how we can do, how we can avoid travel, how we can reduce the traditional advertisement mechanism, how we can work from anywhere, work from home or from anywhere, how we can do online purchase, online consultation, education, entertainment, and yoga, music, dance. Lot of things we learned in a span of 6 months time, than 6 months time by using technology. Even now, we people are discussing on about this technology side in this session only because of the technology backend. So we learned a lot of things in a short time because we forced to do that. The same way, move to next. The same way, how we learned all the things, we try to spend some time to learn the technology. That is why we learned all this operation in a short time. Okay. So the main factor is while doing any business or professional or personal, whatever it may be, we need to have a, if the organization is small, medium or large, whatever it may be, we need to have a knowledge on the IT side. That is the basic thing. We need to have a knowledge and we need to have a system to manage our IT. We need to have a IT management team or person. And another thing is choosing a right vendor or right product selection and controlling the cost on the IT side. These are the four areas we need to keep in mind while doing any IT implementation. First thing, we need to have an idea or we need to have a knowledge about what I am going to do and what is my goal, where I need to reach. So that knowledge need to for a business person owner. And the same way, the IT, how need to manage the IT, that need to have an idea about that and the vendor and the cost controlling. So the knowledge side, we can categorize our employees or the organization. The organization we can see in three different ways. One is the business owner, that who is heading, who is the owner of that company. Another one is the employee who is going to handle the technology part, because these people are going to handle the technology, whatever be the implementation. If it is an email, who is going to use that email tool? Another one is IT manager or IT person, or who is the in charge of maintaining or implementing the new initiative or the existing one who is maintaining. So these are the three elements in any organization, those who are handling IT. So the first thing, the business person or the business owner need to have a general idea about the technology. What are the technology I am going to implement? So it's like, normally we are talking about a cloud, SaaS. So what is cloud? What is SaaS? This kind of knowledge need to have all the business owners. Okay. So for example, instead of setting up a in-house data center, in-house server, you can you can reduce your capital expenditure, and you can implement a cloud solution. So most of the time, when you calculate, if I go for a cloud, every month I need to spend 30,000 or 20 to 30,000, and in a year I need to spend 3.5 to 4 lakhs rupees. So normally when we calculate the cloud cost, I'm saying if you calculate all other parts, for example, if you are setting up a small server room, you need to run 24/7 your AC. You need a dedicated lease line, and you need a firewall. You need a backup line. You need a backup server. If you consider all the things, your monthly recurring cost is more than what you are spending for the cloud cost. So this is the point which I am trying to tell you all of you, that you need to have a general idea about what are the technologies I need to implement in my organization, and what is the cost implementation implication, and what is the cost saving. So now a lot of discussion is happening, or a lot of tools are available. SaaS, go back. SaaS means software as service. For example, if you are running an organization with 50 to 100 employees, if I'm talking an example, 100 employees, you need a HR software. So normally people go and buy one HRMS software, and a lot of requirement, you need to customize it. So instead of that, you can get readily available software as service, that is SaaS means SaaS model online application. So the advantage is you can start using the software very next day onwards. You can start using the software. At the same time, it is your operational cost. You don't want to spend any cost on the initial or the capital expenditure. In going forward, now we are using Microsoft Office and Windows. The Microsoft Office, Microsoft started O365, that is Office 365. In future, now also they already started for selling the O365. That is, if you want to use MS Office, we need to subscription. There is no any, they are reducing the perpetual license method. And Microsoft is also coming up with the even the operating system. If we want to use Windows, we need to have a subscription. Every year we need to go for a subscription. So all the software side is coming to in that way. That is how much we are, what tool we are using, for that we are paying a monthly subscription. So the same way the cloud cost, cloud also, for example, if our business is normally happening in a season, for example, if our product is a season product, in the cloud, in the rainy season, our product will move. For example, if you are selling an umbrella, so our product movement is more in that raining season. So in that season, if we want to use our infrastructure more, then for that period we can increase our IT infrastructure in cloud. For example, we can increase the memory from 16 GB to 30 GB, or if you want to increase your processor, only that period we can increase the capacity of the infrastructure. So what I am trying to say here is there are a lot of options available in technology. Instead of setting up physical setup, we can go for virtual. Instead of buying or instead of developing software, we can readily use softwares are available. That is the point which I am trying to say here. For example, now this is one thing for just for a understanding. Most of the people are maybe using that Alexa. Why I am saying Alexa here is the cost of this kind of a Alexa is.
I'm not sure.
Sorry, I am connected my Alexa here 24/7. When I am using the word Alexa, this will ask, sorry, why you called me. You got it. So I can't use the Alexa word in my home.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Got it. I will tell you one small example. Alexa, read my to-do list.
Read 2 items on your to-do list. Prepare a meeting with H. D. F.
Okay, it is reading my to-do list. Alexa, read my reminders.
There are no reminders scheduled.
Okay, all the reminders are completed. Alexa, read my email.
In the last day, 30 unread emails in primary and 5 marked important in updates and promotions. First email from Avinash R. 3. Invitation. Emergency meeting with MyGat Monday, September 7th, 2023 p.m. to 4 p.m. IST jbalan.k@mukeshgroup.com.
Alexa,
What?
is today's important news?
Suresh, here's what's new. From NDTV News, latest news.
Amid a growing spat with the
Alexa.
Shiv Sena for
Switch off fan. So like I'm trying.
Isn't responding.
Alexa, thank you.
Keep
Anil sir, in my room, I use this Alexa for switch on my fan, switch on my lights, and reduce in a brightness adjustment, reading email. So a product cost 3,500 rupees product is giving this kind of a facility for our day-to-day operation. So what I'm trying to say is, it is because Alexa, shut down. This is the only thing we can tell. It is very much what are the things you are saying. This will accept and they will do it. So what I try to say here is, this kind of a product can be used our day-to-day operation for controlling or for make easy our day-to-day job. Here, if we are sitting ideal in our chair and we can ask them to read our email, this will read the heading and will ask, can I read, proceed, or next, or delete? We can ask them read and next. This will read the full content. If we check the same time in our mobile, we can see that all these mails are in read position. This will automatically mark as read. And if we want to schedule a meeting in calendar, that can be done. If we want to, and if suppose if we are not available in near to Alexa, what will happen? This will automatically send a message to our mobile. This is your scheduled time. You need to do that. Okay. So why I am showing all this, to understand, to give a message to you. This is only to give awareness, because we need to have a knowledge how to use the technology. Okay, we can move to next. So now I am talking about the major point, the ERP side, because the business application. So we need to understand there are two type of business applications. One is standard ERP, another one is customized. It is something like when we buy a cloth and do stitch our shirt, that is a customized one. If we buy a ready-made shirt, that is a standard one. If we buy a customized, what we can do, if we stitching a shirt, we can ask the people, Tyler, put two pocket, one pocket this size, one pocket this, I need a collar, I need a button. So we can tell all the things. So that is purely a customized one. And the standard is, it is fixed. We can't do lot of changes on that. This is the standard one. Only we can do some configurations. Or that is the standard one. So the customized and standard is the difference. So the standard software, for a few examples, Tally is one globally used ERP in accounting side. Tally, but Tally is only for accommodate your accounts and inventory. It is not a ERP. ERP means enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning means the entire enterprise needs IT system, but HR, payroll processing, your employees, attendance marking, so that kind of things are not available, and CRM or business analytics. So it is not a fully ERP. It is for we can do our accounting, we can manage our inventory accounts. That is possible. Pre-sale and post-sale, it is not there. And if we talk about another one accounting system, we can see Soho Books, we can see QuickBooks. If our business and organization is smaller one, And if you want to get all the info on the update quickly, you can think about Zoho and QuickBooks, so kind of platforms. And if your organization is little bit higher, next level, if Tally is not catering all your requirement, you can think about SAP Business One or SAP HANA. SAP HANA, it is very costly implementations. I will discuss in detail. And another one is Oracle. Oracle ERP is available. Next is Dynamics. Dynamics we can call Microsoft Navision. Here somebody mentioned that they are using Microsoft Navision. So Microsoft Navision is another ERP. And there are a lot of other ERPs available. That is the open source ERPs available. For example, Odoo. Odoo is a open source ERP. Odoo itself, there are two versions. One is the enterprise, another one is the community. And another one ERP is ERP Next. ERP Next is a open source ERP platform. So here you need to understand there are two types. One is standard, the one is customized. All these things which I mentioned here is standard one. In that standard itself, paid version is there, community version is there. So that is why in the standard, I mentioned two products here. One is Odoo and another one is ERP Next. So depending on the size and nature of your organization, you need to choose your ERP. Normally, if somebody come and tell you, okay, this ERP is suitable for you, based on that, you will have a discussion, you will finalize and you will move for that. Before that, you need to check this ERP is running in any other organization, like your business model. So the major criteria is the software need to have, fit with your business model. That you need to understand before finding out any ERP solution, because normally, the business owner have a lot of ideas, lot of innovative things. So he need to get everything in a fingertip. Keeping that mind, normally go for the ERP solution. What will happen? Finally, the ERP failed and result didn't get, and people, spend a lot of money and time. So this is mainly because of not for the issue of the ERP and not because of the issue of the implementation partner. Majority of them are there because of your problem. Because while deciding an ERP, you need to have a clear idea about what you want, what you are going to do. Okay. For that, you need to have a clear BRD. BRD means business requirement document. Normally, the BRD is preparing after appointing a ERP vendor. It is not right. Before appointing or before searching a vendor, you need to create a document what you want. You can write in your language, whatever be the points comes in your mind, you need to segregate. You need to keep that requirement in a separate. For example, in sales side, what are the things you want? You need to mention very detailed. These are the information I want. These are the reports I require. These are the alert I require. When everyday closing, I need a SMS alert. Every week, I need a email alert. So whatever be the thing you are coming in your mind, you write in a document paper, and this is your business requirement document, BRD. So after preparing a BRD, either you can check with anybody who are into IT for a long time to understand what kind of a solution you need to buy. Is it suitable, or is there an availability of the standard, or you need to go for the customized? I am saying you better to choose standard application. Better to choose standard application. Why I am saying is, for example, if you are buying a SAP B1, if you spend a X amount of money, you implemented SAP B1, and after 1 year, you are realizing that the existing partner is not capable to meet your requirement. What you can do, you can appoint another vendor to maintain or to continue that application in the next level. Suppose if you are choose a customized application, what you can do? You can't find out a new vendor, or you can't hand over this project to anybody to maintain or to move to the next level. So if any organization in a growing stage, I'm saying about a growing organization, if you are wish to implement a standard ERP system, you need to choose a standard system that is not vendor dependable. The software need to be a platform dependable. Platform means SAP B1 is a platform. While buying a SAP B1 license, the entire source code is going to in your hand. So after while implementing the SAP B1 or SAP S4 HANA, we can see a lot of customers, a lot of business people will do a lot of customizations. So customization or add-ons, the word they are using add-ons. While doing that add-ons, you need to have a proper agreement with the vendor. They need to give the technical document and add-ons source code to you. Otherwise, there is no meaning if you buy SAP B1, if you appoint a vendor, and if the vendor is not capable to do your requirement, if you done lot of customization, done lot of add-ons on top of the SAP B1, if you remove that vendor, you are what are the thing you implemented, you need to scrap again, you need to do it. Then it is same like a customized application. So while doing any agreement with a SAP partner for the implementation, you need to make sure all the technical document need to hand over to you along with because your final payment need to map with the technical document. The final payment you will release only after getting the final payment, then only you are safe. And you need to vet that document with somebody to verify that document is perfectly suitable for you, because otherwise later in a stage you are going to understand, no, this is not the full document. So again you are going to trouble. So here I need to mention 2 points. One is standard and customized. So now we are talking about the standard one. The standard one may be license, maybe this one open source. Open source means the community edition. Whatever it may be, you need to have a clear blueprint, clear requirement, and based on that requirement, you need to identify the vendor. Here I put some points in the right side based on business requirement, selection of why our implementation are going wrong. The few things you need to keep in mind, that you need to have a clear business requirement and proper vendor selection, and the vendor need to have the domain knowledge. For example, if your platform, if your company is doing a manufacturing and this vendor have no any idea about the domain on the manufacturing, you will be in trouble. So while choosing the vendor, we need to make sure the vendor has the enough domain knowledge, because any software company can do any kind of software. If they get the coding people, programmer, they can do any program. But for making a program, the person need to have a knowledge on the business model. What is the kind of business we are running? Okay. And another one is the long-term support, because we need to check how long this vendor is in the market and how is their company's growth. So that we need to have an idea, and we need to have the reasonable price and the proper system study. We need to spend a lot good time for the system study. For example, if we are normally for any ERP implementation, I am experiencing that for identifying a vendor, it will take long time, maybe 6 months or 1 year to choose a vendor. After choosing the vendor, in that discussion, normally most of the business owners are saying, I need to go live the software 3 months time. I don't have the time, so I'm going to start one unit or whatever it may be. I need to start this project 3 months time. And the vendor will say, no, I need a minimum 6 months to 8 months to complete the project. So here is the one point normally the missing happening, because we don't push the software implementation very short time, because your people, you need to spend a lot of time behind this to implement a proper system. So the proper system study is the basic thing to success any ERP or any project. Proper system study. So for that, your people and the business owner the vendor need to spend more time on the system study process. For any software, there are 2 points. One is the proper system study, another one is the proper system testing. For these two sets, we need to spend a lot of time. For example, if the project time is 180 days, that is 6 months, 100 days you need to take for the system study. If you use 100 days for the system study and sign off, you sign off all your requirement screens, your reports, the 80 days is more than enough to develop a system. Normally what will happen, second day onwards, the software development and implementation will start. And after 100 days, we'll start the changing. No, I'm not expecting this one. I need to change this. I don't want this. So after building a system, it is difficult to change the architecture of any software. I am explaining that, for example, if you are building a construction 5-store building. After constructing 5-store building, you are saying, I need a pillar in this spot in the top floor. Okay, I need a pillar here from in this area in the 5th floor. The construction company, what they will say, no, we can't do the pillar in this place. For that, we need to open a hole, all the 4 store, we need to bring it from the ground. We need to do the piling. So it is not practical, or it is difficult to in that stage building a pillar in between the middle of the building. The same way, normally majority of the projects we can see, people will not spend time in the initial phase, that is the system study phase. People will not sit. People will say, okay, I am okay, this is your start, I don't have the time, our accountant person will manage it, our CFO will handle. So people will not spend time in the system study phase. And then the final stage, while doing the presentation of the product at the time of go live or the testing phase, that time normally the people, if majority of the heads level, HOD level people and the management level people are involving in that time. That time actually the system study is happening. That time, no, I need this kind of report, I don't do this. So for doing any ERP implementation, we need to start from the reverse. What are the output we are expecting from the system? That you need to decide in the day one. You are saying, I need profitability report in this format. This is the format. Column 1 is for this, column 2 is for this, column 3 is for this. You need to put in Excel. You need to take the printout, put a signature, give it to the software vendor. I need a profitability report in this format. Then only they can decide for arriving or for deriving this kind of a report, what are the information they need to capture in each stage. For capturing that information, they need to put field in different forms. So that is in for designing that, what they want to know, they need to know what is the outcome of the project. So that day one, the business owner or the software process owner, we can call it as a process owner or business owner, they need to have a clear idea about what is the outcome of this project. Project means I am talking about ERP. Now we are talking about the ERP. So we need to have a clear idea about the outcome. So once you clearly mention, this is my requirement, I'm saying for a business person, for sales 5 report, purchase sales 5 report, profitability accounts, and your inventory, aging report, put together you mark 25 to 30 reports. You spend at least 3 to 4 days for each report. Then how much? 3 to 4 days. Why I'm saying is, you need to have a clear idea about, while getting this report, what are the decisions you can take, because this is the information report. Normally in Excel, in Tally, we are getting lot of data, table format data, we are getting lot of data. But for getting information, you need to have a decision making outcome. What is my sales, what is my purchase, what is the payable, what is the receivable, so what is my net worth. For getting that a single line, you need to sit, you need to spend time, you need to sit with your HODs and you need to understand what exactly you want. Based on that only start any ERP, then only the ERP will success. Normally ERP work is happening from the reverse side. Normally from the they will start with the data entry people. The people will come and sit with the entry people, and they will ask what you want. So what they want, they need only to enter the invoice details and they need to take the invoice print. So that is the system study happening in the ground level. But what is the purpose of making a ERP? This is for a decision making application. If for taking a printout, we can go for Tally or Excel, whatever it may be, that is enough. So you need to start from the top. Start from the top. What is the expectation of the management, top management, middle management, then go to the reverse side. And if you do in that way, the developing company will get a input. What are the information they need to collect in the starting? They will do that. So that is the system study phase and proper documentation. That is one major thing. Normally everywhere it is missing, documentation. While handovering a software to any vendor, if it is customized, if it is standard, whatever it may be, you need to have a clear documentation. These are my requirements. You need to put it in writing. You need to give samples. Normally what will happen, we will not do a proper document. We will put only the bullet point: sales, purchase, sales return, or these are the point need to cover. So we can interpret, no, we discuss all these points in the initial stage. We think in that way. They can say, no, we didn't think in that way. This is discussed, but this is not as per the scope. So whatever be the points which we are going to develop, we need to put it writing, full documentation. That is one area which is lacking. We need to have a proper documentation, proper agreement. For any software, maybe the software company is your friend. Normally that is where the lot of issues happening. So we need to have a proper agreement with the software vendor. And source code, I mentioned earlier, if the software is a standard software like SAP or Oracle Dynamics, whatever it may be, any changes, any customization done, you need to have a proper document and that code. Any add-ons built on the SAP or the standard ERP, you need to have the source code. What are the customizations you are done? And if it is a project that is a customized software, customized software means you are explaining what you want to a vendor, and that vendor is going to develop a software for you. Then you need to have a proper agreement with them. Once you hand over the project, you need to deliver the source code to us. Because if it is a project, there are two kind of terminology in technically, product and project. Tally is a product. You can't get the Tally source code. Tally is a product. Fixed price, MRP, these are the modules available. That is a product. And project means based on your requirement, you are developing an application to maintain your manufacturing or your customer management, whatever it may be. If you are developing a application based on your knowledge, so the people, those who are working on your software is a project members, and that project is developed based on your knowledge converted to as a program. So for that source code, you can ask them, I need the source code. So while closing the agreement, while closing the deal, you need to make sure the source code need to hand over. So why I am saying the source code, for example, you develop a customized software because you search a lot of software in the market. No, nothing is suitable for you. And you develop a customized software. After 1 year or after 4 or 5 years, the vendor, the source code, the software developer, that company is not performing well. They are not continue their business. But you implement that software better way in your organization, but you need to continue that software. In that situation, either you can take this source code and give to somebody, and we can avoid the full stuck. I'm not saying it is the permanent solution, but at least for maintaining our software, we can engage somebody and we can ask them to maintain the software. For that, we need to collect the source code also. And for any software implementation, we need to have a very clear project plan and timeline management. And the majority of the software implementation is failed because of the master data. Because I am working with multiple projects. So the day one onwards, the software implementation team will come and say, okay, you need to provide the master data in this format on this date. 99.9% will not happen that day. They will give partial data, duplicate data. So this is the one major reason for failure or many of the ERP project. And the print format I explained earlier, report format, and major customization after go live. So once you go live, then you are identifying no, this is not the right software. I need to do major change that is also affect your system. And the team for implementation for any project, any software project, normally we can see either this is the responsibility of IT or the management, and the functional people come and tell only the issues of the software. So what you need to do is, if it is a ERP implementation, you need to engage all your HODs. I'm saying sales, purchase, inventory, accounts, all the team heads, all the functional heads need to be a member of the implementation team. They need to have the responsibility of each module, because it is their responsibility to implement their module perfectly. And they don't come and tell it is not as per my requirement later. So they need to have the members in the committee, in the team, project team. So here I try to explain two things, that is standard and customization. Customized software, standard software, the source code, everything is with you because you are buying the license with the companies like SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft. The source code is with you, and you can engage only a partner for the implementation. And if the partner is not good, not giving proper what you expected, you can change the partner. You can find out a new partner and you can go ahead. If it is a customized software, if you spend 10 lakhs rupees on that customized software, if the vendor is not giving proper support, you need to scrap that software, and again you need to start in the beginning. So that is why the two difference, the standard and the customized. And in both case, while implementing a system, you need to keep in mind all the points which I mentioned the right side. You need to have a clear blueprint, team, domain knowledge, vendor, and proper system study, proper documentation, agreement, source code, project plan, everything need to maintain. Then only a project will be in success. So while considering any ERP, majority of the location we can see the ERP fails. ERP fails. Why it fails? One is while doing the business blueprint, our vision is something different, and normally the implementation will take 6 months to 1 year, and some companies it is 1 to 2 years, second year. So the second year we are thinking, okay, the software is not as per our requirement, and you need to keep it one point in mind. 2 years back, what is your vision? 2 years back, what is your turnover? 2 years back, how many production happened? So you change maybe 100 times, maybe 50 times or 100 times, when or 2 times or 3 times, when we compare with the 2 years back, but based on our expectation. Now it is not totally changed. So you need to understand, it is not because of the software, it is because of our organization outlook changed. Because 2 years back, while sitting and designing a software, your company is 50 employees and 10 crore turnover. Now it is 400 employees and you are running a 250 turnover company. I am not saying a very less time this kind of a development. You can take it as a double or a triple. But while designing the system, you need to consider that also. While designing the system, you need to consider within 5-year time, I will reach here. In that expectation, you need to design your system. If you design, normally the designing of the system maybe happen how you are doing that system. For example, if I am going to implement a SAP implementation in my organization, if you people, I am saying the business people, business owner is not sitting for the discussion. If you are assigning your employee to give the input to the software vendor, what they will provide, I am working on the billing side, I am working on the purchase side. This is my requirement. His requirement is only to meet that type. Because, for example, if today's requirement, because that employee may not have a expectation after 5 years, how I need to run my purchase, how I need to run my sales. So for that, you need to spend the time and your vision need to explain to the software vendor very clearly. Then only you can reach in that expected level. So this is the few points, Anil sir, I am explaining about ERP, and in the discussion, interactive session, I can explain more things. So another point which I want to tell you that, for example, everybody is using MS Office, Windows for day-to-day activity. For example, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So if we are running an organization with 20, 25 or up to 50 machines, we can expect a call and a mails from Microsoft saying that your license part is not fulfilled. You need to buy Windows Microsoft Office license and all. So what are the activity you are doing in your MS Office? The same thing can be done in Kingsoft, that is WPS. That is called Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Both everything is available here. So even this presentation I developed in the King Office PowerPoint, not in the Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so all the activity can be done in the WPS or the Kingsoft Office. You don't want to buy the MS Office license. And of course, you can buy MS Office license. Those who are working very critical, for example, GST filing, your accounts team. So some critical people, they need to have the macros. So that kind of people, surely you can give the MS Office. And others, normally they need to type a letter and they take a printout. They need to prepare one statement. That kind of people, this WPS is more than enough. And another point, in any organization, the people, those who are just using MS Office and email, that people, you don't want to go for the Microsoft Windows license. You can use the Linux. And earlier, while talking about Linux, it is fully on command base. It is something difficult. And now it is system stage. The Linux Mint, I put here one logo and a name Linux Mint. That is exactly looks like a Windows. You can use the Linux Mint exactly like a Windows. The start button is there. You can install MS Office. You can browse. Chrome is there. Mozilla is there. So in an organization, at least 30-35% people we can convert directly to the open source platform. In that way, you can reduce a better amount in the licensing side. That is the point which I am trying to explain here. And any business owner need to something very critical in your mind, because normally these are some of the area you are lagging, and that is leading to a complication. For example, domain ownership and credentials. Here you can the people, those who are here, 20-21 people are here. Anyway, at least one domain or 2-3 domains will be there in everybody's business. So if you check, I'm saying 60-70% people can say, no, I'm maintaining a website, but the domain name, everything is under the control of the web designer company. I'm not keeping anything in my hand. It is in their control only. So it is something like your property documents are in somebody's name. Okay, so here your property is your website. So you need to keep all the website credentials, login details, and the ownership in your hand. So all the domain name ownership need to keep it in your hand. So that is normally when we developing a website, we will approach a vendor. A vendor will create a domain name in his name. He will give contact details of his mobile, his email, and you create after you forgotten that. After that, you created some 50, 100 emails under this, and one fine day you are noticing your emails are not working. why emails are not working. While checking, you get a information that domain is not renewed. Then you are checking why it is not renewed. The person who is doing that is not available. His phone is out of range or switch off, and he is not running the business now. So your email is collapsed, your website is collapsed. So the domain name cost is only 490 rupees, less than 500. But that 500 rupees cost domain will make an issue of crores value. In a day, your enter email can be stopped if it is not renewed in the proper time. So what I am saying is everybody's domain name need to in your control, your name. You are the owner of that domain. In your Gmail or your phone number is the contact of the you need to, while buying the domain, you need to make sure that it is in your name. And your hosting server credential is your where you hosted your website. That is one important thing. Normally we can see while developing a website, majority of the business people are uh, checking the look and feel of the website. We need to ensure where my website is hosting. Based on that hosting server, the Google search engine optimization, whilst the website performance, everything is depends on the server performance. So you need to make sure where your website is hosting. It is in any standard AWS, that is Amazon Cloud, where it is hosted, that you need to make sure. And another point, while creating a website, I think majority of the website we can see our clients, and we will put a lot of logos in the website. Without a written permission from the owner of that logo, you can't use their logo in your website. Okay, so you need to make sure the content posted in your website is licensed. Licensed means you need to have a written confirmation from the logos which you are using in your website, and the images. While doing the website, the web designing company will take some pictures from the internet and posted or design your website. So it is not it is rule is not allow you to use the copyright images in our website. So either we need to buy the copyright images from the portal. There are a lot of portals available to buy the images, so that you need to keep in mind. Another point, the email admin control panel. Majority of them may be using 10 15 emails or 50 100 emails in your business purpose. And who is maintaining the email control panel? Your email creation, email deletion, email if somebody left from the organization, you need to hold the email. So all the activity, who is doing that, that credential also very important. Somebody from the management level keep that control, and you can give that access to anybody to do the activity, but the credential, the login credential in your hand, you need to keep it. Why I am saying this is one thing very important, because for example, somebody left from your organization, and few of the company I am seeing, immediately somebody left, they will block their email, they will delete, they will disable the email. For example, if my company name is Kybertech, and if somebody from my company X, that person left from the organization, if I block that email, if somebody send a mails to x at the rate skybertech.com, what will happen? Email ID does not exist. One bounce mail will go. That is not good for the organization, because if the person X person give 500 contacts email, the visiting card, anybody can contact at anybody at any time through email. So if somebody send an email, the email bouncing is not good. So we need to keep that emails, either keep the email, or there are a lot of options available to if somebody send an email in any name, we can capture that email to a single email ID. We don't want to keep any email box for that. So that kind of solutions are available. So one is that email. In that email itself, one another point you need to consider. Inside email, we can set email forwarding. For example, the X person left from the organization. Okay, so the person X is using that email long time. in the email control panel, he can configure one forward option. Suppose he is while he is working for his personal ID, he can forward that mail to the personal mail ID, his personal mail ID. After relieving, sometime we will miss to remove that forwarding from that ID. That will lead our information can go to the person who left from our organization. We can expect he joined some other competitor. He is getting update from here, right? So that you need to very seriously, you need to make sure if somebody left from the organization, we need to have a process to block or remove or inactive the email ID. We need to have a process. We need to have a process to check is there any forwarding is there configured inside the email. If somebody send the email to that email, what to do? All these things you need to have a control on that. And website, few of the websites still we can see it is not responsive. Responsive means now 70% of website access is happening in the mobile devices. So the earlier websites years back, maybe 5 years back, the websites are not developed as a responsive, mobile friendly. So now if somebody looks your website, they need to move the finger and make bigger, then only they can read it. So you need to make sure your website is responsive, and your all the application servers, if you are using any cloud server, you need to keep the credentials in your hand, and all the bank, PF, ESI, GST, TDS, all the credentials you need to keep in your hand, and all the contract agreement, all the IT contract, all the IT project agreement, you need to keep the copy in your hand. And this is something like your this is very simple, syncing your phone contacts to Google account. If something sometime your phone got damaged, and your contacts which you saved in your mobile uh, fully gone, for that you can sync that contact to your Google account. And another one, this is some key area which I am saying is normally people are, now we are using mobile very, all the time mobile is in our hand, but it is carrying a lot of critical information. And how to export one chat. For example, if I am continuously chatting with Anil sir regarding some official purpose, so now because the WhatsApp is taking the role of email, because we reduce a lot of email communication through WhatsApp. Email we can get the track, but in WhatsApp, if that goes gone, their track will go. So all the official chat, you need to have a system to take backup. Only that chat you can export and keep it as a PDF. Then all the password, you need to have a dual authentication, uh, uh, critical logins. You need to have a dual authentication. Another point which I need to tell, email delegation. For example, Anil sir is using one email, and your official email, and sometimes you are not able to check your email always. You can, normally people are giving the entire username password to somebody and ask them to you maintain my email. So you are giving your email user ID and the password. Okay. So your Google Drive, your all the application can be accessed that person. Instead of that, what you can do, you can delegate your only email access to your person in your office. So while the other person while log in, they can only check your email only, and you don't want to give the email username password to you. You can only the delegation, and you can take it back when you want to take it back. You can take it back without giving the email user ID password. That is few things which I thought to share to you, because all the people are the business people. We can move to next. And few of the CRM, because I thought if all the people are the business people. For any business, you need to have a proper good customer relation management. Lot of CRM softwares are available. Odoo, Suite, these are some of the open source. Capillary, Salesforce, Sugar CRM, these are some of the paid. So there, I thought to just share a few thought about the CRM. We can move next. As we discussed earlier, HRM. HRM is employee onboarding, employee salary process, and their attendance marking from the field. We can attendance marking, their leave management, attendance management. So a lot of things are there. Odoo, not this is mentioned as CRM, not CRM, HRMS. Odoo, HRM, Zoho is there, Great HR is there. Lot of these are some of the SaaS model HRMS, which is somebody Mehul Bensal asked earlier. So that is why I mentioned the Great HR. Move next. So the same way we can have some BI. We are talking about it because now data is the major part in the future. So how we can use the data in a business intelligence? For that also there are a lot of open source applications are available. So that is Metabase is a open source BI tool. You can connect this with your any ERP and this will provide all the dashboard, all the graphs. You can connect the Metabase and you will get a BI platform. Next. So now the video conferencing, everybody is familiar on that. And now we are using Zoom and a lot of other tools are available that I don't want to explain more. Everybody know that. The Google Meet is there, GoToMeeting is there, WebEx, Namaste, BlueJeans, Skype, Microsoft Teams. Lot of, the video conferencing system tools are available. So you can effectively implement this in your organization to work virtually. For example, I think I can explain something little more here. At this situation, at this COVID situation, majority of our employees are working from home, work from home. So if it is work from home or if it is work from different geographical location, you can virtually you can set up an office by using the Zoom. I am explaining how our system is working. For example, if it is a normal office, what will happen if the office time is at 9:30? Somebody will come and open the office at 9:25, right? That is the way normally office is working, physical office. So in our office, we are working virtually. Our Zoom will start at 9:20. Okay, 9:20 our Zoom will start. So all the employees can log in. Because in any organization we can see some employees come earlier in the office. Same way the employees, those who can join 9:20 or 9:25, they can log into the Zoom meeting and all the employees can see each other. They will have an interaction in the morning because before starting the office will start at 9:30. 9:35 is the morning meeting time. So they will get at least 10-15 minutes to have an interaction personally. Okay. So I am explaining about our system analyzer, how we are using the Zoom. And 9:35 we will start our morning meeting. So everybody is there in the morning meeting. I strictly told them I need to face-to-face discuss in the morning. So in the morning meeting, they will explain what they are going to do for that day, what is happened the last day. They will explain. So the meeting will finish. Everybody is getting less than 2 minutes. Meeting will finish at 10 o'clock. And we will not allow them to leave from the Zoom. They can mute, they can sit and they can do the work from the system. If anybody want to ask something, they just unmute and ask, hello, this is the thing I want, I need this thing. In the chat, they need to available always. So one Zoom is working all the time only for the employees. So this Zoom is our office now. Okay. If somebody need to attend any other meeting, any other Zoom meeting, they will put a message in the chat box. I am attending for the platinum meeting today at 11:30. I am leaving. I will come back at 12:30. So normally in a physical office, we will put a movement register and they need to write on that and they will come back and they will put a signature. Same way the chat box is for updating. I am going to for this. I am going little earlier for my lunch. I am going outside. I will come back after 15 minutes. Whatever be the thing, they are putting in the chat. The whole day, everybody is on the Zoom, and in the day end, in the evening, we will do every day there is a closing meeting. They will explain one by one after 5:30 what is happened for that day, and after that 5:45 the meeting will end, and the Zoom will end at only 6:30 only. Till 6:30, the Zoom is there, and the people, those who are ideally, if they want to talk all the employees together, they can discuss. So we set up a virtual office by using a single Zoom ID. So that is where we can use technology based on our requirement, what we want, what we are expecting, that way we can use. So that is one thing which I thought to explain here, how we are using the video conferencing system for our business. Now our office rent is only 1,000 rupees per month, because the virtual office 1,000 rupees is enough for one Zoom ID. This is point which I thought to explain to you. DMS for paperless office. Now we are using a lot of physical documents in your office. So now people are sitting different location. So if you want to take an approval digitally, you need, if you want to take an approval, or you need to keep all the documents digitally, your contract, agreement, invoice. For that, the DMS means document management system. There are open source DMS available in our internet. Seed DMS, SEED. Seed DMS is a famous globally available document management system that is better to use for digitalizing your document. You don't want to buy the license, you don't want to do any cost. Only thing, you need to have a resource in the sense some PC or entry level server, and somebody who knows to implement DMS, because this is a open source free software. Move next. So DMS can be for your document purpose. Another one is now if we do all the automation, we can see a lot of learning management, because we need to have a electronic learning management, e-learning. For that, I am recommending to think about a Moodle. Moodle is a open source learning management system. Even universities are using this for their learning management. So you can install this internally, and you can use this as a learning management. Because for example, if you want to your product, for example, your product features, you to train all the people, PDF, PowerPoint or video, whatever it may be, you can upload in the system, and after we can treat all and after each course you can conduct the exam, and the employee need to attend the exam. We can fix the time, we can fix the date. On that date they need to write the exam. You can use that for your performance appraisal or the continuous improvement of learning. You can use the LMS. This is also freely available over internet, the Moodle LMS system. Move to next. Another one is on cloud is something like, for example, we can see if in your organization, suppose 50 people are working, they are keeping all their documents in their desktop, in their system folder. And some people, they need to access these documents while they are moving. Suppose if they want to use that same application in the mobile app, if they are not in the office. Okay. Another case is if people are keeping all the documents in the desktop itself, if something goes wrong, if the system got damaged, you don't have the backup. So you can use the on cloud as a backup, as well as the moving people can access the document at anywhere, anytime. So this is also a open source available file server system. This can be downloaded and you can use it. Because why I am saying all these tools is, without cost, you can use these tools for digitalizing your business. Another point which I need to explain is the next one, N computing. Here you can see all the monitors back, the one device is connected, that symbol with a N. This is a US based company, and the N computing. N computing, if we compare the size, it is hardly like 2 mobile. If you put a 2 mobile, it is less than that. And this can be connected to your server. So normally, if you buy a system in your organization, less than 20% resources are utilizing. For example, if you are buying a 30,000 PC, 4 GB or 8 GB RAM, 1 TB hard disk, and quad core or dual core or or i3, i5 system, less than 25% resource you are using. You can check your 1 TB hard disk, how much space people are using. So in an organization, if there are more than 10 computers in the same office, better to think about the N computing. One thing is, you don't worry about the data loss, because your entire data is keeping in the server only. Nobody can't take the data from here. We can block that. The another one is you don't want to buy the antivirus license on the PC because this is working directly from the server and the data loss I told. Another one is power saving for a PC. At least 250 watts is the power. Here only 25 watts is enough. So 10 times you are saving in the power. For example, if you are 5 kV UPS in an organization for connecting all the PC, if you think about encumbered 2 kV is more than enough. So and you will get a more backup also. So and if it is a normal PC, it is generating heat from each PC. If your office is AC air conditioned, this air condition is utilizing by using the PC heat. So this encomputing is not generating any heat, so your AC consumption will come down, your UPS consumption come down. So there are lot of savings while using an computer, but only thing you need to have a central server. Okay, so the central server will keep all the data. So it is easy to maintain all the employees desktop. Your support charge, your vendor comes and do some hanging issue or the PC crash. All the things can be avoided. So this is something you can use for your cost control. The same time for better management of IT. And these are the few points you can use some SMS gateway, email gateway, or business WhatsApp, chat bot, WhatsApp bot. These things can be utilized for your business. These are thing is not making that much of cost, but it is saving a lot because for your business, if you can configure a business WhatsApp, then there are a lot of WhatsApp bots are available. For example, if somebody contact your WhatsApp, it will automatically respond. I am selling this product. So in which product you want to get more information? If they put okay, I need to get this information, this will automatically send. That kind of system you can implement with a lesser cost. Okay. So G Suite, I am just explaining the G Suite is a better tool for all the business owners. If you use all the applications available under G Suite, that is enough to get enough to get most of the activity consolidation in your organization. For example, Google Calendar. If you are using Google Calendar better way, you can schedule all your meetings, all your top management meeting can be scheduled because we are using Google Calendar to manage every day. If you calculate all the employees, 35 meetings are managed through the Google Calendar with 15 plus employees. And the Google Drive, because in our organization, we are keeping all our data in Google Drive. We are not using any data in the local system. Google Forms for collecting any information, we can create a form and we can push to our employees or vendors or collecting some information for that. So like that, a lot of free services are available in G Suite. Google Sheet is everybody knows that, but I am just explaining. Google Sheet is a very good tool for all the people to have a immediate collection of the information. At least a small organization can run their MIS and CRM through the Google Sheet itself. Google Keep is if 3-4 or 5-10 people are sitting for a meeting and they discuss different points, and you need to collect all the point in a single point, and you need to share that to everybody. Exactly showing like here, you can write all the small notes in the Google Meet, Google Keep, and you can share to the people, those who are part of that group. These things you know that. Google Task, maybe everybody maybe know that because most of our email by more normally after reading the email will be in the read condition, and sometimes that email can be closed after doing a particular task. So you can mark the email as a task, and you can install the Google Task application in your mobile, and you can track if these tasks are completed or not. Okay, for example, if a email come from a partner, you need to pay this much of amount on or before this day. You need to clear this invoice. If it is an important thing, you can mark this mail as a task and install the task application in your mobile, and you can see what are the tasks are pending through the email. So that can be controlled. That is why which I thought to just share here. Next. Same like what are the possible things available in the G Suite? The same things are available in Office 365 also, but it is a paid version. G Suite also paid. Even the free version also you can use. Mailer for bulk mailing, you can use MailChimp. This is a tool. I think every month you can send, every day you can send it 2000 plus emails free of cost. You can create your customer profile email, and you can push email through this email chimp with free of cost. Data security is one thing very important while talking about all the centralization, digitalization. You need to keep it mind your data need to more secure. So you need to have a clear user rights, data report access right, software email server access from outside network, strong email password. Your software need to access through only through a virtual private network, and pen drive, USB kind of thing, how to block your internet access, social media you need to restrict, and WhatsApp, for example, if somebody come and join in our organization, if you ask them your WhatsApp number for your business data, business information sharing, they will share this is my personal WhatsApp. We will immediately take that number, we will add in our WhatsApp group. Then sometime if he left from that organization, normally this will miss. We will not remove him from the group, and we don't know how many groups are created or who are all created, because nowadays there is a new terminology called shadow IT. Shadow IT means without IT control, there is a shadow IT is forming, because the non-IT people can also act as a IT person. IT person, like for example, if it is a CRM, the marketing team or the sales team can buy a CRM online, and they can start using that CRM software, right? And if that can be not a part of maybe in IT. So that is the separate department is buying an application, is using that. The same way the WhatsApp is something very useful. The same time we need to have some control on that. And another point we discussed about the personal number. Another point, if it is an official number, for example, in my company, X is a person who worked in my company. He decided to resign. He left. Normally, what will happen? He will hand over the SIM to us. Okay, we will keep the SIM in our table. Fine. He will not remove the WhatsApp from his mobile. Until that time, all the communication will go to his WhatsApp, right? So after getting that SIM, we need to configure one WhatsApp in that number. Then only the other person WhatsApp will move. So these are something we are missing. We don't know. Okay, we are not aware of that, how to do, and we don't have a checklist on that. So a lot of that, I'm saying a small example. A lot of other things are also available. Even the Wi-Fi in your organization, if you put a Wi-Fi in your organization, after closing your office also, anybody can enter into your office without open your door, right? Your Wi-Fi is on. Your Wi-Fi is available from outside your office also, right? So the next door, from the road itself, people can access the Wi-Fi. So you need to have a very strong password, and you need to have a clear plan about the Wi-Fi implementation in your organization. Okay, next. So I am saying two small examples. One is the hard disk or memory. While suppose your system is not working, system has some problem. If the service technician come and ask, sir, your system is not working, I am taking to back for the service. So you are giving your whole system with your whole data, everything. So if we bring that system in his office, if after making condition, the entire data is there in your system desktop. Okay, whatever be the data, suppose he want to take, he can take it from there, right? So whenever you are giving your system for service to outside, remove the hard disk from the system, give to them. So this is normally a majority of the corporates they are not providing the system outside with the hard disk. They will ask, keep the hard disk here, take the system, make sure the system is working, come back. And if it is a hard disk related issue, he need to do the service from that location. The same way the memory card, while selling your mobile or tab, make sure you are not insert your memory card in that. And even while selling your phone also, you are losing a lot of data through that. If somebody can take, somebody need to purposefully take the data, they can take it. So these two things you just keep it in mind. We can see ransomware, virus attack. So these are the things we need to give awareness to our employees. If a mail comes in that way, you don't click on that, because, for example, everybody, it is very easy to get a CFO or finance person's email from outside. It is very easy because normally we are creating the emails CFO at the rate or accounts at the rate this company. So they can send an email I read somewhere a phishing mail, something like, you use your official email ID password for login in Netflix, get a 6-month free. Okay, they are getting an email, something like it's a Netflix logo, everything is there. CFO at the rate, the mail comes. Normally, what will happen? If some people, those who are not familiar about the IT threat security kind of thing, the mail content is something like, use your official mail and password for login, and there is a login button. What they will do, they will use their official email, they will use their official email ID password. While click on that login, it will just come and go back, it will not show anything. Then CFO or the person who is taking care of that, I am saying an example, CFO, normally accounts is attacking from the outside, so he will neglect it. So the people, those who are working behind, they got the email and the password. What they will do, they will log into the system, they will start watching your email communication, how it is happening. Okay, they will start watching the email communication. So the finance person is writing mail to banks, you transfer this much of money to here, from here to these. So they will monitor that this thing, and one day they can see CFO is sending an email, I am on leave for another 5 days, I'm not available. So this also they can read. Then they will start in that day what to do for stolen some money from the bank or something. They will give the approval, everything. So for that, the people need to have a clear idea about the ransomware or this kind of attack. Okay. So a lot of project management tools are available. For example, for tracking your task and project, you can see Orange Scrum, Trello, Asana. A lot of task management tools are available. So if your employees are working from different location, or if they are working at task base, you can use a task management system to track their activities. That is one tool which I explained here. Just thought to share to you. E-commerce, anyway, if somebody is using the business in e-commerce, one thing, you can place your product online, or you can start your own e-commerce. I am strongly recommending, instead of customized application, use Shopify or Magento kind of platform for developing a e-com platform. And because once you start the e-com, it is not easy to scrap and again build a rebuild. As we discussed earlier, for any ERP, the same way for your e-commerce platform also, you go for a platform based Shopify or platform based applications. And IT audit, I need to tell very strongly that if it is a whatever be the size of the organization, you need to have a clear IT audit, because now we are doing we are doing the audit in the account side. Why we are doing the audit? Because we something goes, some entries mismatch, something went wrong, so we need to identify, we need to rectify it. The same way, IT also you need to audit in your website, social media, your infrastructure, your software, everything. You need to have a clear audit. Even the software side, how many users are there, for each user, what are the rights we are given. So in the last audit, this user don't have this much of rights, and why it given this? Because normally for a particular purpose, we will give some access sometime, and we will we will not remove that rights after that. So we need to have a clear audit on the software, infrastructure, and the web. While doing the audit, you will get an idea, this much of loopholes are there in my system. Okay, so that is why I mentioned the IT audit here. And another one is, we need to have a clear IT policy, user management, asset management, email management, password, media, mobile device, access control. Because if you, without maintaining a proper policies in the organization, it is difficult. Once you goes wrong something, you can't track it. So for that, you need to have a clear policy, IT policies in your organization. And next is the IT budget, because if whatever be the size of the organization, you need to have a yearly, monthly IT budget, and you need to check that budget is overcome. It is above or below the budget. Why it is extra amount comes? You need to have a review every month. So the owner of the company need to fix a IT meeting every month, once in a month, and to check what are the activities happened in the previous month, what is the plan of action for the next month, and what is the total spending last month, what is the budget for the next month. So the management need to spend a day or time for the IT evaluation every month. This is one tools which I thought it is not connected to this. OneNote is part of that O365. It is misplaced here. This is one tool which you can use, and a lot of IT tools, IT asset tools are available for maintaining your IT asset management. Free IT tools are available. I think it is the final. Is there any slides available? Okay. Sir, these are the slides which because for this session, I planned actually 1 hour. Now it is 2 hours. So again, I have another 150 slides are there in different folders. So this is the thing I thought to share at this time. Thank you, sir.
So I think what you have done, sir, is you have given an overview, which is important. All right. Let us take a couple of questions. All right. There are two already from Abhishek. So can we have some email address hosted on Google and some on another cloud to same domain?
Possible.
Possible. So Abhishek Bede, possible. Second question from Ishan Lutra. Have you heard about a company called Black Box for data security? If yes, any experience working with them?
Black Box, I heard about that, but I didn't work with them. This is for the data security, but I didn't work with them.
Thank you, sir. We did overshoot time, but no problem at all. I'm sure you could have gone on and on and on. So this is one area we ignore, but it turns out to be most important. I think the fact of showing end computing, own cloud, Moodle, etc. I think, God bless you, Bete. If an IT company is not operational, how difficult it is to hand over source code to another company and bring the ERP back on track? I think it's a practical question from Mohitji.
Yeah, the only thing we need to identify a company, those who are into same technical expertise, same platform experience, and we need to spend some time to explore the requirement process. Then if the source code is fully there with a minimum document, we can do it.
Source code is fully there with minimum documents. So some conditions from Suresh sir, I think.
Yeah, we need to have the documentation. If it is not there, the software company need to spend more time to understand what is written in the source. If it is available as the documentation about the source code, that will help the new company to understand how they written the source code. But it is possible. You can think in that way. The programmers, those who are working inside the organization, after they move, also the company is maintaining the software by using the next people, right? The same way we can take the source code and we can give to the other people. It is possible.
Okay. That's about it. So idea is very simple. Sorry, we extended time, but I'm happy we extended time. Idea was to bring your attention to a less glamorous part of management, IT, but I thought the most critical, right? So my experience has been, marketing is glamorous, finance is all about numbers. IT, yes, of course, it's important, but we tend to ignore that. And my experience over the last 3 to 4 years with some dear students is that they have invested a lot. Not 3-4 years. If I say Salome Shah also, it should be what 5-7 years. Invested a lot in ERP, but then not getting the output. Whether it is FIME, right? Again, a dear kid from Cochin, Lens and Frames. They gave the contract to a very popular company, paid everything in advance, because they said, if you pay everything in advance, you'll get a huge discount, right? FIME, Lens and Frames. I'm giving you the name also. And then today, they are not able to get the entire ERP going. So my only request to all of y'all is, before you go into it, because it's a capital investment, please look at it very, very carefully, right? Vet it and then proceed. Because once you go halfway, right, then you may get stuck. Yes, sir, Suresh sir, my kid Mohit is asking whether you will be able to share slides.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll set it.
Mohit beta, it will be shared. You could write to me on personal WhatsApp. I'll anyway put it on the Telegram group also, right? And Suresh sir, my request is, since you are there and I want to make a public appeal, I'll just take 2 minutes. We have a Telegram group. If you could just join the group and once in a while post something regarding IT, right? It will be useful for my dear students. So once in a while, if you could post something regarding IT, right? Because what is critical? This is a free open source, right? This one tip of yours, maybe a week also will help. I'll send you the link, sir. Of course, it's your discretion. Abhishek, I completely agree with you, Vijay. Completely agree with you. We should check for recurring costs of big softwares. Sir, Abhishek is speaking. I'm sure that smile on your face, right? So Abhishek has gone through it. He has gone into a very important software just now, but he's extremely good. Somebody else did it and he did not pay attention. So somebody else was taking care of it. Now the kid has gone into it. He's debugging, he's setting up the system and is taking up the challenge. So internally within you all, if you want to talk to somebody, right, if you are more comfortable talking to somebody your age, Abhishek is definitely one person you could speak to. But if you're looking for an expert, I personally request all of you all to get in touch with Sureshji. One of the finest human beings I've said, right? Very selfless in helping people. Incidentally, he was very much instrumental in turning around a company where I had invested. That's where I had great respect for this gentleman, right, Mr. Suresh Kumar. Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. Right.
Thank you.
God bless, sir.
Thank you.
Right. Shayan says one very simple line, amazing session. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I'm waiting for.
If anybody want any support, you can reach me. I will help you.
Yes, I was waiting for Gani to say this. I was wondering why he didn't say it. And I realized I skipped it. Very valuable session. IT tech is a real resource unlike HR, and one should explore and extract the maximum out of it. Right. So he normally says this, sir. And one last thing we do, Suresh, is we thank Shanti ma'am for.
That's the last.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.